I didn't know I was on the agenda until just a little bit ago. So, my father-in-law moved a plate, and there it was. I would like to let Fonda know it does get a little easier. We were at that point where I was sending out lots of notices on our campus, and we've now gotten to the point where we've had multiple kids go through and be the benefactors of your support for camp and then their leadership ability. So now I don't have to send out any notes. They text, they Facebook, they do everything else, and so it does get a little easier as the years go on. My main thing for you guys is just FCA in this area, again, is growing rapidly. Your support pushes that along even further. I'm I guess, a product of multi-generational FCA at this point. My mom, who's 80 years old, was familiar with FCA when it got started because some of her college buddies were living in Estes Park. And so she was supporting FCA. She stuck me in the back of some stranger's car to send me to Fresno State in the mid-'80s to go to camps. So after 3 years there, and she kind of had her own little scholarship fund going to send other friends of mine along. I think about the last trip to FCA, this would have scared Ben because it was me and my dad's Dodge truck with 6 guys piled in the back under the camper shell and pulling up to Fresno State for a camp. And so things have progressed. I ended up back teaching. Like most people, when you're interviewing for a job, you promise lots of things to get the job, and one of my plans was to start an FCA huddle on campus. And about 15 years had gone by, or probably a little bit less than that, without having started anything. And it took Ben walking into our classroom after I'd ended up taking our head football job. And Ben came in, and that was the push that I needed to get a huddle started on our campus. And we're growing rapidly. We've had as many as 70 kids at our meetings. We started with 6 kids at the first meeting. Ironically, if any of you guys saw the Chargers game and the Raiders on Thursday night, our first FCA huddle leader was Vincent Brown, had the very acrobatic catch in the corner of the end zone there. And so it's been a nice ripple effect through our community, and now my daughter is involved in FCA. Having been at camp. So you can see the impact that it puts onto lives and families. So I just encourage you guys, some of you are in a position, we've had great business leaders in this community that are stepping up. If you're looking for a way to get involved in campus, contact Ben, find out which huddles are starting in your area or are looking to start. Contact the coach and say, hey, what can I do to help? Can I show up and bring bagels and cream cheese? Again, we meet every other Friday morning. And or a gym night, sponsoring something, dropping off pizza. If you're connected to the church, a youth group leader, there's just a lot of different ways to get that going and have an impact. And if you have never had a chance to visit the camp out at UCLA, it is unbelievable. We have roughly 700 and some campers, over 900 people, staff invading the UCLA campus, and the kids that are come back. They're just on cloud 9, and this is the greatest thing. And then we're hoping the fallout effect, camp scholarships that go towards, we have a parent here tonight. His son was at our camp this summer at UCLA from Rancho High School, and this weekend he's currently on his recruiting trip to Point Loma, where the coach that was working the FCA camp was helping and made that connection. So again, you never know the ripple effect that's going to take place. So thank you.
I went to college to study forestry on a Navy ROTC scholarship. I learned then, in retrospect, I think, I've got good sales skills, and I always overpromise, and we're not getting out at 9:30. You won't be able to mingle until 10 o'clock. Ben Mulder, would you come up, please, and introduce our next speaker?
It's my honor and my pleasure to introduce my friend Tom Randall. Tom and I met at an FCA camp in my hometown in Iowa about 6 years ago. And just a real bond was formed. Tom was a very, very special man, very incredible athlete, and I know that you're going to love hearing. We could be here until 10 o'clock tomorrow, and he could fill you with stories and fun stories about how God has moved in his life and in his ministry, but we only gave him 20 minutes. So come on up, Tom.